Premier League. Take those away. Arsenal, I mean, it's early doors, but they look like they're
not really. It's been 4 years, bruv.
No, but I mean, when it's within that project, it's only really been 2. During COVID, they didn't really do anything, and then they only really kicked their transfers and all that sort of style of what they wanted into overdrive last year. Really, come on, they only really went Tommy Ashley, Ben White. They only went for it gung ho last year. So it's been 2.5 years coming up for 3, hasn't it? Isn't it? I swear it's because the third game.
Whenever Arteta come in, I think this is Arteta's third season, or is it 4th season?
I think it's his 3rd. But then again,
no, it's his 3rd full season. I think they'll know in the chat. I think this is his 3rd full season because he done a half season before,
January 2019 he came in, or December 2019.
So this is his 3rd full season then. Do you know what I'm saying? So 4th season, 3rd full season. Yeah. So 3rd full season.
Okay, so within
this
that,
is not early doors, blood. Because
no, but then
you give a manager 3 full seasons, to judge him. Like this is the season. If Arteta doesn't do something respectable this season, bro, like he's failed, bruv. I'll be honest, bro, because he's finished 8th twice. If this brother doesn't win a trophy this year, or if he finishes 2nd this year, doesn't win a trophy, that's good enough.
I mean, top 4 is a must. So
but if Arsenal finish 4th in top 4, it's not good enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I say top 4, I need to finish 2nd, bro. That.
I don't know. Like if you
do, because Liverpool are shit, bruv, and Liverpool normally finish 2nd, and they should finish above Tottenham as well. And really, the stage that we're at in our rebuild, they should finish above us as well. So there's no team they should finish above you lot, because you lot are shit as well. So hang
on, we're not shit.
It's true.
Come on.
Anything lower than 2nd this season for Arsenal is a failure. Anything below 2nd is a failure based on what other teams are doing.
I'm only being cautious on that matter purely because the Arsenal blip has got to happen at some point.
Oh, it will happen, but
okay. So if it does, that drags. I mean, if you look at the points different right now,
this is it 8-8-5. So for me, finishing 4th isn't good enough. If you look at the capitulation of Liverpool, Chelsea losing the owner and the manager, Man United with a new manager, Liverpool, like Spurs are just Spurs. When you look at it, and anything below 2nd is a failure for Arsenal. I'll be honest, it is.
Look, I mean, irrespective.
Look at that. And my man saying no, top 4 is enough. You finished 5th last season, so if you finish 4th this year, you think that's a good season? Is that how low the standards are at Arsenal?
But what are the differences in their case specifically between 2nd and 4th? It's Champions League regardless.
But it doesn't matter. But that's not the point, though, Louis. Do you know what I'm saying? That's every hole's a goal mentality, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like. Nah, bro. Man can't do that.
Case, it really fucking should be, because
but it's not though. Man have to have standards, bro. Man have to have standards. You don't finish 5th, then you see the worst Liverpool team that you've seen in the last 6 years, the worst Chelsea team in the last 6 years, Man United with a new manager, like fucking Tottenham are Tottenham. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is and this is your best start to a Premier League season in how many years, bro? If you finish below 2nd, bro, that means you fucking bottled it, because you've been top for most of the season so far. I know it's only a 3rd of the season, Louis, but look, 4th place is not good enough. You finished 5th last season.
We'll agree to disagree, because all I'm saying is they just need to constantly improve. And if they get Champions League, that's what it is. But that's the point of what we're trying to say is, like, at that point, we've seen a consistent growth with Arsenal, with Liverpool, with City. We saw a consistent growth. To compete at those top levels, you need to see a consistent growth. You can't do that chopping and changing. We are very lucky, because for over a decade, we had a core of players which were like, this is how we play, this is what we do, we know what we're doing. You don't have that in footballers anymore. You don't have the mentality of, Lampard, Drogba, Terry, Ashley Cole, Petr Cech. Players are wet wipes. They are. It's just the game's matured. It's gone different. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm probably the same age as most of these players, and I'm calling them fucking wet wipes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, look, like the mentality's changed within the sport, and everything's matured. There's more tactical now. There's more science. There's whatever, There's loads of different things. For us, he needs to see that improvement. And he needs to put the infrastructure in place. Graham Potter cannot be judged at the minute, because he's not been able. He's been here a month or 2 at tops.
You can judge him for playing Raheem Sterling at wing back, though, surely.
But apparently that's not the so with the way he plays, I spoke to a Brighton fan about this, right? So I'm not comparing Trossard and Sterling as players directly. I'm comparing them as players within that formation, right?
Yeah, because Trossard's better. I hear that.
It's not wing back. It's like you're basically playing as a left forward the whole time, and then the cover comes from the left centre back when we apparently basically become a back four. It's weird. I don't get it.
Back five even.
No, but even it's not even like a back five. It's like so. Oh, should I find my tactics board? Should I get my tactics if I can find it?
Well, if you can, but no, bro, because you start in a 4 and you attacking a 4 and defending a 5, from what I understand of Potter's system.
So what I've been seeing is, I think it's basically with Sterling, you just let him do what the fuck he wants. But I think the shape comes from when someone has to tuck in, and whether that's Pulisic or whoever. Pulisic's played as wing back. I still think he's shit. You know, I'm not saying it because it's Christian Pulisic, because there's obviously this whole thing where people are saying people are just targeting Pulisic. I target Pulisic. I don't target Pulisic specifically. I don't scapegoat him. I just don't think he's good enough. So the position we're in, I don't think I understand it. I want to understand it better. I don't. Right, this is going to be such a weird thing I'm going to say. You know those things, coach's voice. Does Graham Potter have one of those? Because I want to watch his tactical breakdown. Because I don't get it.
He does have one, you know, but those are good. Check on YouTube and see if he's got one, because
he has.
Brendan's one was really good.
So he's got one called Graham Potter. Ask the coach. He's got 2. Okay, I'll have a look. That one was 4 years ago when he was at Ostersund.
Okay, so yeah, we need a more recent one though. But
I mean, there's one year ago, which was asking questions and shit. But there wasn't.
Yeah, we need the tactics board though, innit, to see what man's talking about. Usually they talk about one game, innit? They usually talk about one game.
So he did his one with Ostersund. I mean, Graham got a tactical.
It would probably be an Ostersund Champions League game or something like that. They would probably ask him about.
I'm going to have a little look in a bit. There's a T5 football one from 2 weeks ago, so I'll have a little look at that. But for me, it's just I want to understand everything. I want to break it down, and then that way you can see how everything works. Because then, if I'm able to analyze it and go, okay, this is how we're playing, this is how this works, it makes it more malleable. But then when I speak to a Brighton fan, I went, do you get how Potter plays? They went, oh no, it took us about 6 months. And they're like, fucking hell, like there's I don't know what's going on with that. But we'll see in it. He can't be judged at all for me. I don't think it's fair, because he's not had the system. He's got none of the infrastructure around him, none of it. And it's the way that he's doing his stuff. Look, I like Graham Potter at Brighton. I think the football he played was excellent, and that was when he had a good infrastructure. You know,
but I don't know about infrastructure, bro. Like, you know, when man talk about infrastructure, the way I see it is, Graham Potter is a good coach, but I think he's going to fall into the bracket of the Bielsas and them man that are just good coaches, but they're good at coaching shit players, innit? That's what I think Graham Potter's going to fall into. I think he's going to fall into that bracket where he's good at coaching malleable players with no ego that will just do what he tells them to do, bro. I don't think that he can get genuine world-class players with egos to play the way Brighton play, because it's a very selfless way of playing football, bro. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like when, like this comment here, he's saying, I can see why he put Sterling at wing back and all these things. Yeah. Listen, Raheem Sterling's got all the attributes to play at wing back, but you're forgetting that Raheem Sterling is a former golden boy, cost 60 million for Man City, has an ego, plays for England. He ain't doing that for you, and he's not going to do it willingly. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if he's got the attributes. The man doesn't want to fucking do that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is, bro. This is exactly what it is. You can say that players should be egoless, but football don't work like that. When you're a multi-millionaire that's played for Man City, won Premier League titles and that, you ain't playing fucking wing back for a guy that's never won a trophy, blood, of any substance. You're not doing it, bro. Like, as a man.
It's been, if I count the games, right, under Potter, we've had one. He's been here a month. A month, Rants.
Yeah.
Just over, like a month and a couple of days. Like,
right,
come
cool.
on.
Well, this is a hot take, Louis. Yeah, he gets sacked before the start of next season, bro. Next season, you'll have a new manager.